Ussa! Right. Let's get the chief rolling. Oh! Right. Here we go. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo goo. Painting goo goo goo. It's painting fucking goo. It's painting goo. Painting goo. It's painting goo. What will we do? Nobody do. What do we do? Something I said. Painting goo. Zip rat goo. And Geppo. We Geppo too. Painting goo. If you don't know what a Geppo is, it's a burp. Painting goo 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 goo. Paint sip rat goo goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh, where's my sip sip? Painting goo goo goo. It's painting fucking goo. That's painting goo. Painting goo. Oh, I missed coffee. Painting goo. There we go. Painting goo. Sip rant goo. Painting goo. Ah, right. Let's bring it home, Myro. You magical monkey, you. Painting goo. Goo, goo, goo. Painting goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Sip rat goo paint goo. Painting goo goo goo. It's painting goo goo goo. What will we goo? Painting goo. What will we goo? Nobody knew what we goo. On painting goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo. Goo 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 goo. Aha! That's it, Myro. You marvelous monkey, you. Bring it home and remind these filthy mortals of the goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Such beautiful music brought to you by the magical monkey, Myro. And if you filthy mortals had any honor, you would place a tip in his bowl. Pay the monkey, for I do not. Greetings and welcome, hold on a minute. Tuna and barbecue sauce. Glorious. I made tuna merts. Tuna merts. Mertz. Tuna Mertz. Not too long ago, so I'm going to have very fishy geppos. Right. At least it's not smell-o-vision, what? Excuse me, whilst I descend into proper painting posture. Glorious! Nothing like a smooth stool to get the chi flowing. Excellent. Right. How are we, my beloved Japoniter? Are we where? What day is it? Woden's Tag? Is it Woden's Tag? It is Woden's Tag. Absolutely beautiful. Right, who has honor this day? Margio-sama, Emmanuel-sama, Desmondo-sama, and Stabilo-sama. Glorious, and welcome to PEINTEINGU. Another glorious blank canvas awaits the goo. There is a slight crease in the top right-hand corner. This vexes me, but no matter. It shall barely be visible once the goo is applied to the blank canvas. That's a squeaky truck. Check your brakes, you fuck! The joys of living right beside an open road. A main road where large trucks constantly just fly by. Well, they drive by, but you know what I mean. We're not there yet. I always found that funny, how many years ago they used to say repeatedly in movies, in the news, on the Terrai Vision, because it tears you rise. Back in the 1950s, I believe, even, scientists, experts in quotes, used to constantly tell us that by the year 2000 we shall have nuclear-powered flying cars and nuclear-powered robots making our breakfast in the morning and all this shit. If you've played Fallout 4, you know exactly what I'm on about. That kind of Americana vibe. I love the aesthetic. And the audio aesthetic. You know, they're like Eddie Rockets in Ireland is very like that. The Americana 1950s diner, with the rock music and the something along the lines of Elvis Presley or go Johnny go Johnny go. What's that one? Isn't that from Back to the Future? Oh, it's not from Back to the Future, it's in Back to the Future. Played by Marty. He could play the guitar just like ringing a bell. Go. Go, Johnny, go. I like that song. It's a fun song. I have no idea who that is. The chat will probably tell me. I would like to see your blood panel. How much mercury and red flowing through your demigod form after consuming so much tuna. I have been consuming tuna. Tinned tuna. So it's even worse. It's not even real tuna. It's like tinned tuna. I have been consuming tinned tuna very regularly since I was a young boy. Tuna sandwiches, tuna toasties, rice and tuna, pasta and tuna. It's a very handy, widely available form of cheap protein. But yes, I mean, I've recently enough had my blood work done. In the last 7-ish years, when I had my hernia, I had to get my blood work done for various reasons because I was going into surgery. And they did a test on me where they hooked me up to a cardio machine and made me walk and then jog to check my lungs, check my heart. And they took blood from me and they checked my blood. And apparently, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. I would say that if I have any health issue of late in the past couple of years, it is stress related. I don't get proper sleep. Sometimes I stay up all night into the next day. My sleep pattern is inconsistent and not healthy. I did drink way too much coffee and not enough water, but that has changed. And I was underweight. And I smoked myself into oblivion. So if I was to guess that any kind of heart problem I actually have is probably related to my posture and therefore my spine and my nervous system. I am probably suffering from the effects of an overexposure to cortisol and adrenal fatigue. If I was to hazard a guess. But I'm working on it. I'm trying to get better sleep. I'm drinking way more water. I have put weight on. And I've stopped smoking. And this has all happened in the past month. So, if you don't think you can change your life, may I be an example. I may be a demigod, but, I'm still half human. So, there is that. Oh, God, caffeine, how I missed you. I don't actually miss smoking. I do occasionally miss the ganja. Every now and again I get a little tingle in my mind's eye of like, it would be nice to just have an edible or something and then paint for a while. But I don't need it. My dreams are keeping me entertained enough of late. They are vivid, random as fuck, and full of symbolism. Jam-packed full of symbolism. I recently had a dream where I had deja vu in the dream. This was fascinating to me. I dreamt I was in a particular place, and then when I woke from the dream, I remembered dreaming being in that place a wrong time ago. A wrong time ago. Fascinating. The Mercury Rivers may explain our glorious ginger host's whimsical nature. No, I was always like this. Some words are ridiculously difficult to pronounce in Japu. It is hilarious. Always. Merc. Right. No, I have always been like this. When I was younger, when I was knee-high to grasshopperoo, I had way too much energy. Or maybe just enough. I don't know. Dreams are great right now. Ian Ganunu, welcome. Dreams are great right now. My dreams fucking wired. Wired and weird. But yes, and very entertaining. And are filling my mind with questions. I do believe, since my decision to quit smoking and take a break from coffee and reset my nervous system, reset my mind, energy levels, whatever way you want to put it, I have reveled up spiritually. I have gone through a recent metamorphosis of the mind and soul. I do believe I am slowly but surely getting to grips with my anger, which, apart from the smoking, is probably the main thing that I have suffered from most of my life. I have always had anger, rage, wrath, even. That is my primary sin. Wrath and rust. Wrath and rust are my primary sin. Primary sins. For years, wrath and rust have red my life. Influenced me in the wrong direction. But these past few years, since moving here and trying to make a life for myself through various means, I do believe I have finally awoken in various ways. Ugh. Sumimasen. Ah, Griffu-sama. On lunch, Breaku. What are you having for lunch, Griffu-sama? Wrath is the easiest to justify, but the most destructive. Indeed, it is. Especially these days, wrath is particularly easy to justify. Because we live inside a paradigm that is essentially some sort of rigged game. So it is naturally frustrating and madness-inducing when you try to use logic, which is, of course, ironic that we live in a time where attempting to use logic becomes frustrating because you are surrounded by completely illogical systems, cultures, people, ideologies, so on and so forth. I am attempting to embark on a spiritual and, what would you call it, creative adventure. I have recently decided that I am going to delve into Celtic and Irish mythology. I mean, it only makes sense, you know. It is the mythology of my ancestors. These past 7-ish years, I have been steeped in rabbit hole after rabbit hole of the various religions and symbologies and ideologies and philosophers and all these different things in an attempt to find some semblance of sense and rationality or logic to all this strife, misery, grief, and this ubiquitous confusion that we seem to find ourselves surrounded by. It is difficult, but rewarding. And quite often, very funny. Very funny. I quite often find myself struggling through bramble patch, only to emerge and slip and fall in mud and look up and see pig's ass staring at me. And then the pig farts. And I just raff. I just raff because I'm like, what the fuck? You struggle, and then you emerge from the struggle. And then you are humbled and embarrassed. And then you are shamed and mocked. And this all happens within your own mind. If you are honest with yourself, at least, I find myself constantly reminded how ignorant and foolish I am. Which is probably a good sign. Probably a good sign. Ah, somebody has a painful PEINTEINGU. Glorious. Ah, Pruno-sama says, Jeep crushing. Did you buy yourself a new Jeep, Pruno-sama? Is that why you said Jeep crushing? Domo arigato for your patronage to PEINTEINGU. Greetings, Bruno Sama. Your patronage is most welcome. Jeep crushing. Are you implying that I should purchase a Jeep so I do not get stuck in the bramble patch and mud? Hilarious. Oh, hilarious. Right. Okay. I shall not ramble on. I assumed you meant keep crushing, but that was hilarious. Jeep crushing! Like, you're just reminding everyone that your new Range Rover is really kicking ass. Oh, God. Right. I do believe that... What was it? I had a thought there, and it just... Brain fart. Complete brain fart. Complete brain fart. Oh yes, the Ribberers are freaking out lately since the UK Supreme Court has decided to acknowledge reality, and there's another word that's ridiculously difficult to say in Japu. Reality. Reality. Jeep stands for just empty every pocket. You may as well empty them on PEINTEINGU. Ah! Desmondo speaks the truth. If you're going to waste your money, you may as well waste it on PEINTEINGU. Do not waste it on Jeepu. Ooh. Oof. Oof. That was a fishy Gepu. Weird, I'm actually having a cup of tea in my Jeep, so there's that. That's what I'm talking about. I am constantly reminded of the synchronicities in life. So there are days, usually only a few, which I think is good, but sometimes there are days where I suppose the best way to describe it is lose my connection to the divine. And I go off path a bit. And I don't get any synchronicities, and I don't see the numbers, and there's no strong, deep feeling of purpose and direction. But for the past 7 odd years, every few days, like every handful of days, there is just this reminder that it's just like, just keep going, just keep going. That is the point. Like the sun, like the sun and the moon, you rise, you fall, you rise, you fall, you rise, you fall. That is the point of life, is to journey. And there shall be positives and negatives, but because we are human, and we are fallible, and we are dirty, filthy mortals, we tend to get lost in the mire of shadow, confusion, demoralization, frustration, grief. I have mentioned before that my wrath stems from sadness, grief. My anger does not come from what I would describe as weakness or fear. I have very little fear. Very little. It's there. I do have fear occasionally. I'm still half human, but for the most part, my wrath definitely comes from grief. A profound sense of disappointment and loss and betrayal. Profound sense of betrayal. That is where my wrath stems from. My anger attempts to justify itself by listening to my inner child as it complains about the failures of those who were supposed to love me and take care of me. Instead, they spoiled me and abandoned me. It was not just my parents. It's my friends, too. But, at least when it came to my friends, I had more brain. I spoiled them. I spoiled my friends. I was too good to my friends. And perhaps I was too harsh on my parents. It is important to reflect upon your past, but do not linger there. You must move on. Same with the future. It is important to look forward, but do not cast your gaze into the future for too long. You are supposed to be here and now, creating, producing, moving. Movement is medicine. Move your mind, move your body, move your soul. And speaking of which, let's get some tunes going. For we have a new PEINTEINGU to produce. And you know what that means. Where is it? What's going on? Where is my playlist? Where's my playlist? What is this? How dare you? YouTuber. I detest YouTuber. It is so shit now. Really is. YouTuber is like Disney. It's like Bungie or the gaming industry. Like there is just so much shit. It is rotten. Unkempt. Stupid. There we go. There we go. Right. Is Jeet crushing some kind of Celtic tradition? I think like there are many Celtic traditions that would probably scare the fuck out of Christians. I am also interested in this. There are differences. Celtic is not Irish. They are similar, but there are differences. Just like Celtic is not Nordic. Now, of course, if you want to get semantic about this shit, I do believe that all of the known religions are essentially manipulated versions of each other. I believe the original faith system was basically farming and symbology around farming. When to grow, when to harvest, when the red moon rises, so on and so forth. All of it is just very, very old knowledge which arouse you. If you follow that knowledge, it arouses you to live a life of abundance and satisfaction. Which makes perfect sense, because if you are of Satan or Lucifer or the sons of Cain or whatever these people call themselves now, because they have many names, you know. The enemy, the adversary, has many faces, it has many names, it has many titles. This is probably why Jesus said that titles do not matter, you will know them by their fruits. So, do not look at the face of something. Look at what it produces. Look at what it does. How does it behave? And all known, currently known, all religions fundamentally behave in the same manner. They have become cults. They have become peddlers of faith, in quotes. So I believe that is why, ultimately, we see ourselves in a position where most people are disconnected from the divine realm, from within themselves. As again, Jesus said, the kingdom of God lies within you. So, whatever this enemy, this adversary, this evil is, because evil, I believe, is not the same as bad or negative. Good and bad, positive, negative, these are forces that are fundamental to the realm. They allow things to move, they allow things to grow and die and grow again. But evil, malevolence, that is a conscious attempt to pervert, to influence everything into a state of oblivion. I believe that is what it, or they, seek, is utter oblivion of us. Not even our living creatures, because they feed on such things. They feed on us. But I believe there are people who are aware of the true evil. And there has been a effort throughout the ages to completely rid us of our knowledge of who and what the true evil is. That's why it has so many names. That's why it scurries and hides in so many places, in so many corners, in so many shadows. It obfuscates and hides beneath many layers, like terrible onion. Yes, Jeet crushing, very funny you. A fine way to solve the JQ, alright rads. Into the Jeet crusher you go. 117 always does it for me for whatever reason. 117? Is this biblical paragraph? 117. Forgive those and let go of the past. Easier said than done. I had to do the same. Indeed. Forgiveness is a tricky one because it is a very predominantly Christian belief. Obviously you'll find the same thing in Buddhism and such, but forgiveness, I believe, is a trick, in a sense. Not completely, not holistically, but in a sense I believe forgiveness is a trick. In order for you to forgive someone for a trespass, they must repent. They must seek forgiveness from those who they have trespassed. If I indulge in my wrath and I strike you, you should not forgive me unless I ask you to forgive me. And you bereave my attempt, my apology, my request for forgiveness is authentic. If you bereave that I am repenting of the sin of wrath, then you have the option to forgive me. And forgiveness in that context is a very powerful and morally superior way to live. Indeed, I agree with this. However, we live in a time where forgiveness is just thrown out. Like the word rape, like the word bigot, racist, rapist, bigot. That man is a misogynist. These words have lost their meaning to me. These words are like dry leaves in the wind. They mean nothing. Because the intent has been worn down. It is like we live in the time of the boy who cried wolf. If you keep claiming that you are offended, if you keep claiming that you have been wronged, if you keep claiming that you are a victim, if you keep claiming that you have some claim to make, if you keep claiming, there will be nothing left to claim. Margia-sama, I have too much past. You have a glorious past. You have made it this far, and your soul is still vibrant and beautiful. You have a past to be proud of, Margia-sama. I find it hard to comprehend the Wicker Man concept. Seems like the Kurtic version of Aztec heart harvesting. Shenanigans with the 1930s German twist. Wicker Man, great movie. This is the tradition of constructing a man and then burning it in some sort of attempt of what? What is the purpose of the Wicker Man? Is it like the Jewish chicken thing where they put their sins in a chicken and kill it? This is yes, I do not agree with this. I do not agree with this. Off-roading the responsibility of your sins into an inanimate or animate object in some sort of attempt to circumnavigate the karmic road that you have undertaken. Accepting responsibility for what you have done with your own God-given free will is the most powerful thing you can do. Saying things like, typically saying things like, that's not my fault, or blaming others, typically is the weak road to take. Now, of course, there are instances where something is not your fault. But even if it's not your fault, what are you going to do about it? You know? That kind of thing. Granted, shit can just happen. But to a degree, no matter what it is, you allowed it to happen. You could argue until the cows come home that you didn't build your wars high enough. You weren't compassionate enough with your neighbor. You did not take enough time to do X, Y, and Z. Sumimasen. The coffee is mixing with the tuna melts. It makes perfect sense to me that if you are truly to maintain control over your life, then, as a consequence of that, anything that happens is your fault. Owen Benjamin is a wise man, wise beyond his years, and a lot of what he says is very true. And I relate to this experience of quite often being right and knowing what is true, but, just like everybody else, I am fallible and foolish, ignorant, with the confidence to do things that others do not. You quite often run into the problem of appearing arrogant. I am not arrogant. I detest arrogant people. I have even said, I'm a little arrogant. I'm not. I'm cocky. I'm confident. I'm strong. But this means sometimes I run into war that I did not see. This means sometimes I trip up. Sometimes I make a mistake. When you are right most of the time, when you make a mistake, it can be difficult to acknowledge because you're used to being right. I was not always like this. There was a time when I was younger where I felt like I never got anything right. Like no matter what I did, my father would not be proud of me. Everything I did was not good enough, or a mistake, or a wrongdoing. So it makes sense that I grew into a person who makes sure I do things right. And I think, and I use logic and reason. And I have developed a strong mind and body. But my soul, my heart and my soul are damaged. I have a crack in my armor. A trauma, which I have been slowly healing through comedy and service to others. Owen is correct. There is nothing like the fearing of doing something just for the fuck of it. I often look at that photo in the sitting room, the living room, whatever you want to call it. We have photo that Bravey Bear Summer made for me, and it shows Owen holding up the giant hereditary sign that I painted, that we sent in box a few years ago. And beneath that photo is the photo of all the Irish bears at Bear Meetup several years ago now, before the Jort Wars. I painted many an hereditary sign. Was just floorboard with piece of hemp rope and hereditary painted on it. Nobody paid me. I just did this because I thought it would be good. And it was. It was a glorious moment. That is a beautiful photo. Many of the people in this photo are not bears anymore. A few of the people in this photo betrayed us. Betrayed me, personally. But it is still a beautiful photo. Because everybody in that moment was full of joy. And I facilitated that. Obviously, to a degree, we all facilitated it. Me, Bravey, a few others. But it would not have happened if I did not paint those signs. You should do things just because they are good to do. Do not concern yourself with money or expectation. It is simply good to create. Do not create for monetary gain. Do not create for pat on back. Create for the sake of creating. No. That is illogical. If you create for the sake of creating, then creating something bad would be good. No. Create with the intent to bring joy. Create with the intent to bring positive energy. Unless you are creating bomb, to destroy your enemies. I don't know, It is foolish to attempt to boil down life into sayings. For the most part, I just did it. Ultimatums are fucking shit. I have never seen Wicker Man. Is that the one with Nicolas Cage? Forgiveness also can mean to see through, i.e. see past someone's ego. Indeed. We are all like children still, to a degree. And it is the wise and powerful thing to do. To look at your fellow man and acknowledge that he too was once a baby. And when he trespasses against you, it is quite often a resort of some unresolved pain within that baby that resides within the man. But this is why I do not believe forgiveness should just be handed out freely. Because as men, especially, but as men and as women, we must face the consequences of our actions, of our choices. Like, parent taking the child's hand away from the fire. If the child does not touch the fire, he will not learn that it is hot. You must let your child burn themselves for a moment, so they learn what hot is. What too hot is, at least. A parent should be there to pick child up after fall and help them dust themselves off. Or even simply be there as the child picks themselves up to encourage. Parents should just be there. You do not want to be helicopter parent, but at the same time you do not want to be brack dad and not be around. It is important to find the balance. I have said this many times, that's why I love the yin and the yang symbol. There is good, there is bad, but there is bad in the good and there is good in the bad. And they are constantly moving, constantly changing, constantly throwing within and around and about each other. Like water. The Jort Wars were something else, yes, indeed. I believe the Jort Wars were a result of zealotry and people who were there, people who were in the bear community for the wrong reasons, suddenly realized where they did actually belong. A lot of people joined the bear community because they believed it was a church. Some people need a church. I believe it is accurate to call these people the masses because they need to attend mass. Some people need a church. Some people need a group. I do not need a group. Having a group is nice. You know, sometimes you get lonely. Sometimes it is good to be around other people. But you should not need other people. Look at Noah. The story of Noah I find fascinating, and I really like the movie Noah with what's that fucker's name again? Russell Crowe. I really like that movie. Really, really good movie. But the story of Noah is excellent. Every man, I don't know about women, I'm not a woman, but every man needs to learn to exist alone. You are alone. You will die alone, in a sense. Even if you're surrounded by family, you are the one dying. You are the one embarking on the adventure. You are alone. You are individual. You are the one inside your meat sack. You must learn to be alone. And I have many things to learn, but that I have learned very well. There's a few things that I have learned beyond my years. In many ways, I am wise beyond my years. But in many ways, I am still a child. It is a polarizing blend. It's probably what makes me energetic. It's probably what makes me silly and funny and, like, you know, entertaining and such. Some thoughts I have are profound. Some thoughts I have are like monkey fringing shit at war. They are primitive and base. But, depending on the context, very funny. Nobody likes it when a monkey flings shit at their face. But, if you witness such a thing, glorious. John, what if it's not ego, but pure evil? Indeed, indeed. Sometimes it is difficult to tell the difference between a foreign ego, or a person who has simply experienced great trauma and is now very damaged and broken, and someone who is touched by evil. They exist independent of one another, I believe. That's why I love watching murder mysteries and cops and police investigations and stuff, like the really dirty, nitty gritty. Like, if life is a jungle and you spend most of your time walking around and go, oh look, pretty flower. Oh wow, a tiger, isn't he beautiful but dangerous? You are existing in the big, the immediately apparent, the bright colors that catch your eye, the loud noises that catch your ears. Above ground revel is very captivating and beautiful. But in the underground, in hair, in the minutiae, or the bugs, or the hard on the outside and soft on the inside, there are millions of them. They crawl around. They seem to have a singular consciousness, or this shit. That is actually what is holding up or the beauty. This is what I find fascinating. When you delve into the reality of the demonic and compare it to the reality of life, because this is what I see religion as. I see religion as a way to communicate the idea of reality, existence itself. Whenever we became conscious beings, whether we were made by the gods or whether we were monkey and then blah blah blah, I do not believe this. Vox points it out perfectly. The maths just does not make sense, which is counterintuitive to the rest of the realm, because it is obvious that, like the golden ratio in a flower and so on and so forth, there are many things in the realm, if not everything in this place that is not us or something from us. If it is not from us and it is here, it makes perfect sense. It has a place. It does something for some purpose. Even the mad shit, even the crazy mad shit that animals do, it serves a purpose. When a creature eats its own young, we look at this and we are like, oh my god, what the fuck? But it serves a purpose. If the creature does not do this, it will die, and it will not be able to propagate the species. Sometimes winter comes too late, sometimes winter comes too early. Sometimes there is not enough food. There is an ever ebbing and flowing of nature. And sometimes the creature is just like, well, I have no food. If I have no food, I'm going to die. If I die, I cannot make more baby. So, eat baby. You eat baby, you live. Next season comes, there is more food, you make more babies. Better season. Now babies go big and replace me. This makes sense. Is it dark from our perspective? Yes, because if we did that, it would be fucking horrifying, which it is. It is ludicrous to behave like an animal in certain contexts. It all makes sense when you are just honest about it, and when you look at existence with a keen, discerning eye, and you are honest about it. Life makes perfect sense. But when you lie and you obfuscate and you manipulate and you influence, they do this because they are weak. They do this because they cannot face reality. They do this because they are attempting to convince you that their weakness is strength. That they have discerned that this place is some form of prison instead of some form of arena or training ground. If you are playing game, let's take basketball. The players, typically, who cannot keep up, who cannot beat the other team, or the players who are not as good as the other players on their team, what do? Typically, some will be honest. Some will be like, maybe basketball is not for me. And they will play hockey, or they will play chess, or they will paint, or something. Typically, the ego kicks in. And they justify them being weak through some means. Why did you miss that shot? Or my sneakers are not the right sneakers. Why did he beat you? Or where I was going to do this, and if he... You hear this a lot. If this had have happened, things would be different. Well, that didn't happen. You see it all the time in UFC. Oh, I had bad campo. Oh, I was dehydrated. Oh, I had injury. Oh, I had this. These is so ironic. These fighters, these strong men, these dangerous, intimidating men with six-packs and tattoos are still big baby you. If I had proper campo, you lose fight and then you fire your coach. Sometimes, sure, maybe that's what you should do to grow as a fighter. But typically, it's like, why are you blaming somebody else for you getting punched in the face repeatedly? This is what I did. This is what I did as young teenager, as 20-year-old still. Smoking and gaming and smoking and gaming and why is my life so shit? Why is the government this? Why is the world like this? Why are people so shit? Why do people lie? Blah 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 blah. I did nothing. I did nothing about it. I would get job and I would work hard and I would be lied to and I would get job and I would work hard and I'd get, contract would be up and I would have to get another job, and it was just this tedium, this tedium of trying to find purpose. I am not Delta. Deltas can just work, no matter what job is. The world runs on Deltas. You can just work. You do not care about what the work is, you just work. Because you do work, you get result. I am like, I don't know, maybe Bravo, Omega, I do not know. Sometimes I believe I am Alpha, but I detest... I don't want to be a reader. I fucking have no interest. So I'm very similar to Jacobat. I'm very, whimsical. I need meaning. I crave it like drug. Without meaning, I just fall into depression. So if I am to work, if I am to do something, it must be for a purpose. And I didn't mind doing that. Rifting boxes, moving things, working on production run. This is why I think I am Bravo. If I am doing a task and I am treated well for doing that task well, I would exist in that forever. I used to love just doing physical labor, being rewarded for it, and being told, thank you, good job. I used to fucking love it. But because of the economy and the frame of mind of these people here and the want for profit and all these, most business, like a massive majority of businesses in this country are just backstabbing, profit-driven shitheads. So most of the workforce is miserable. That is why you get people from shit country, because they are desperate. They don't know any better. I will work for nothing and I will be a slave to you so I can live in hut. And these corporations are like, I want you. Because I can treat you like shit. I refuse to be treated like shit. I have integrity. I have a sense of self. Call that your ego, but at least I am honest. I don't have an ego to the point where I think I deserve more than I am capable for, more than I have done. I did not move box and then turn around and go, pay me 10 grand. I did not move box or work on production line for 8 hours a day and go, I should be in charge. No. I did what I did, and I just expected to be rewarded fairly. And I was not. Same thing during COVID. These people were supposed to be experts. These people were supposed to be looking out for your best interest, your health. The medical industry is supposed to keep people alive. And what did they do? Poison people. Encourage people to die early. Separated everyone from one another, even in death. Tearing sons that could not console their mothers as their brothers were lying in coffin before them. People did not go to their father's funeral, their mother's funeral. The integrity of humanity was tested, and most of us failed. Sodom and Gomorrah is upon us. History repeats. If it does not rhyme, it repeats. And we are living in a time of great darkness. But I'm loving it, to be quite honest. I suppose that's why I could come across arrogant sometimes. Because I like this. I like the fight. I like the being outnumbered by demons and having to swing wildly like trapped animal. I love it. The blood, the violence. But I am very particular. It has to be for a purpose, like the work. It has to be for the right reasons. I detest wanton violence. I detest degeneracy. I detest killing for no reason. Killing without righteousness, killing without care, is like mass slaughter of animal to make burger. It's disgusting. If you cannot hone your axe and your spear to go hunt that hog to feed your family, the energy, the karma is not good. There's no balance. There must be balance. That's why I said recently, if I have to pull trigger, if I have to be the one to pull trigger, then fair enough, but it will be for the right reasons. I will not unsheathe my blade unless I am damn sure it is a demon in front of me and not a pharaoh man. And it would appear the time is upon us. But until such point, I will paint. My children still 4, and I'm still there to pick them up, even though they are adults and 2 of them are grandparents. Perhaps you should have read them far harder, Margie, you know? Like I said, do not pick up your child. Tell your child to pick themselves up, but be there for them. Encourage them. You can't do it for them. You must be there to help them do it, but you cannot do it for them. Do not pick them up. Stand there beside them, look them in the eye and tell them, you can do this. I believe in you. Stand up. But do not do it for them. They will not learn. They made an idol of Owen and attached their own ego to him and the bears. Indeed. Indeed. The Jort Wars was a revelation of what people were looking for. There is a filtering, a sifting of humanity that is happening. And I feel honored to be among people like yourselves, who over the years have held on. I have said this before, there is a character in the movie Master and Commander, Ord Fisherman, or Ord naval soldier, Ord ship hand, whatever you want to call him. And he has the words, hold fast, tattooed on his fingers. I remember seeing this and I thought for a long time that I would like to do the same. To get hold fast tattooed on my fingers, or perhaps on my arms. Just hold on. Holding on, maintaining course, is not being stubborn. Having staying power is like having faith. If we are stardust in human form, if we are stars, if we do belong with the divine in the permanent realm, how do you expect to learn to be permanent if you cannot at least be semi-permanent here? Everything here is semi-permanent. Everything here is temporal. If our destiny is to become permanent, then what better way to learn to be permanent than to exist around things that are temporary and learn how to see everything rise and fall around you? You must stay the course. You must have faith. You must keep going. That is the point. He is just a good man trying to figure things out like the rest of us. Indeed! Indeed. That is why I have stayed. That's why I trust the man. I genuinely do trust Owen. But not like deity, not like either. I just trust him as a man. He is good man. And they are few and far between these days. I trust Owen to be Owen. I trust Big Beru to be Big Beru. I trust him to be funny. He is comedian. I trust him to be honest, because in order to be funny, you must be honest. That is all I trust him to be, is big funny man. You sound like a great mother, Margie. A broomer indeed. Many boomers could take notes from your selfishness. You never stop being a parent. Thank you, Surrey. I try, and it's hard sometimes. It is indeed hard, but that's the point. Just because it's hard doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. If anything, if it's hard, that means it's worth doing. Hi, Margie. Yes. Pure evil is what it is. Difficult to come to terms with it. Indeed. When you become aware of something being evil, it is quite often jarring in the beginning. The first couple of times it happens, you're like, oh shit. Didn't expect that. It can send shiver down your spine because you are like, whoa. Even an animal would not behave in such a way. You can forgive an animal because it is instinctual. But when one of us does something abhorrent, when one of us chooses to use our own free will to trespass, is this the unforgivable sin? To commit evil? To harm the innocent? To lie to those around you for selfish gain? I believe this to be true. If you lie to your fellow man for monetary value, or if you harm children, then my blade will be unsheathed. I was planning on destroying the evil, and I opened my Bible and prayed. God told me not to. Indeed, it's not your job to destroy evil, but perhaps it is your job to destroy the vessel that the evil exists within. It's difficult, you know. It's quite often not the responsibility of females to do such things. Females are not destroyers, they are creators. Females are maintainers, you know. Females are like children, they are still connected to their emotions in many ways. It is the duty of a man to destroy when necessary. I am beginning to understand thou shalt not kill. Is not killing if you are defending yourself. That's not killing. That's defending yourself and your family. That's why it's so important to hold on and do not act impulsively. When you see the rumors of wars and the signs of war, do not immediately, out of fear, be like, oh, now I must kill. No. If you have faith, then you will know when the time comes. Because you will have no choice. There will come a time where there isn't a choice. Well, you always have choice. You know what I mean. It would become so blatantly apparent to you that the thing to choose in that moment is to swing. Staying your hand would be weak. Keeping your blade sheathed would be weak. It would be wrong. You will know the time. It is not right to go and fight in foreign land for king or bank or government. This is not honourable. All these stories we were told about brave men and women who have blah 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 blah. Pussies. Murderers. Cowards, murderers, and the tricked, the deceived. Cowards, murderers, and the deceived. That is what happened in World War II and World War I. They were cowards, they were murderers, or they were deceived. And if they were deceived, look at how many of them came back and was like, war is not good. War is horrible. Look at how many of them are still alive to this day, and every time, even as old man, they recall killing another man, they cry, they weep. I killed this man, I killed that man. Even if they do not weep, they do not say it was good. They do not say they took pleasure in it. This is the mentality of a man with integrity. A man with integrity would be like, I was right to. I regret this. I did what I thought was right at the time, and now, looking back, I didn't have to shoot all those gooks. I didn't have to bayonet that German. But I was paid to, and at the time, I thought it was the right thing to do. It's like me. I look back at my life and I'm like, I thought watching porn was what everybody did. I thought playing video games, smoking, and complaining about the economy was what everybody did, you know? That's what grown men with family did. Grown men with family and fucking working in same factory for 20 odd years. Monday to Friday, they go, they work. What do they do on the weekend? They go to pub, they bitch and moan, and they drink their sorrows away. And I was told these were the real men. If you were a real man, you would go be slave for government or banku. And you would pay taxu to corrupt government too. If you were a real man. Foolishness. You must find your purpose. If your purpose is to be hard-working man with family, then so be it. This was not my purpose. My purpose was to create things. My purpose was to speak, to make, to speak, to act. I have done many different things since I didn't even really make that choice. I did and I didn't. I made the choice to not go to work, because at the time I was like, you want me to move boxes while there is a pathogen, Roos? What are you, insane? I am not touching packages from international fucking travel if there's a fucking worldwide pathogen. You people are fucking retarded. 2 weeks goes by. Oh, there's no pathogen. Oh, but now none of us have Jabu. Oh, shit. Now you must wear this mask and take this needle. Hold on a minute. You told me there was pathogen. You are lying to me. Like, it's so funny looking back. Time and time again, I prayed by the rules that were put in front of me. That is where a lot of my wrath came from, you know? Grief and frustration. Frustration, why? Because what I'm dealing with is a lying scum. You know? Do this! Okay. Now do this! Hold on a minute. Now do this, and say this. Why? Because this, and this. This does not make any sense, sir. Like, if it doesn't make sense to you, you are probably a racist, bigot, homophobe. What the fuck? Oh. My entire job must just give you PTSD, Defenderu. Not really. I mean, like, if you have good boss and you, like... I liked working in warehouses. You get to listen to radio, you get to talk with your friends. All you do is move produce around, play Tetris with different size boxes, make parrots, rap parrot, next truck, next... I like just having my headphones on or listening to radio and having the banter, and I liked it. I liked being a workhorse. I was good at it. The few honorable men that I worked under always said I was excellent worker. Which is why I was just so angry when I was treated like shit. You know? If you are a shit worker and you get treated like shit, then it's on you. But if you're a really good worker and you get treated like shit, oh, I could feel my hands wanting to just, like, I could fear it. I wanted to cure them. I wanted to put my hands around their neck and squeeze. The audacity of these people to take good workers like me and treat us like shit. And I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. Many, many, many hard-working men destroyed by just evil people. Greed. Fucking greed. Destroying whole families. Back-breaking work. And for what? For what? You get handed fuck all money. Enough money to, like, barely survive. And the one job I had that was plenty of money was just... By that time, I had already given up. That was on me. It's very ironic. I finally was in a position where all I had to do was the same thing I had been doing. Crush. And I would have been paid well. And I was paid well. But I didn't care anymore. So I drank and I drank and I drank. I worked and worked and drank and drank. And that's what made me suicidal. I was sick of being lied to. Sick of being used. Sick of being discarded like I wasn't made of, you know, made of flesh and bone and with a soul. These people, they have no integrity, they have no respect, and they will lie to your face. So when I got that job, I assumed all of this. I assumed I was going to be fucked. I assumed that everything was just shit, and I didn't care, and I didn't put the work in. That was my failing. The irony of life is quite often hilarious, but also tragic. The timing of everything in my life was just tragic. You finally accomplish this only for this to happen. You finally learn this lesson only to end up in this situation where this lesson doesn't matter anymore. You finally do this and then this happens. You finally do that and then this happens. I'm still experiencing this in my life. But now, after many years, coming back from suicidal thoughts, that's what aroused me to be like, okay, fine. I guess I'm fighting demons then. Up until that point, I had this naivety, this gullibility about me. I had this like, but surely they're not going to treat me like shit. These are like good people. No. No, most people these days are absolute trash. And it's not necessary that they're trash because they are evil. They are trash because Vox Day is right. Most people are idiots. Most people are idiots. Most people are greedy. Most people are lazy. Most people are, you know, all they are interested in is their own selfish needs. So they have no problem treating workers like shit. And when you treat your workers like shit, your kingdom falls apart. And now look at the country. If you're going to have people work for you for fuck all money, at least treat them with respect. It's ridiculous. Seems so obvious, but... When Jesus encountered the man plagued with countless demons, he put them into a herd of nearby pigs, and they ran into the sea. Are they now pigs that must be driven into the sea? I know not. I do not know. It is difficult to have the discernment to be like, should I kill all of these people? I do not think this is the thing to do. That's what Hitler did. That's what Alexander did. That's what Mussolini did. That's what that's what Pol Pot did. Like, you know, there are men who basically think they are God. I'm going to kill them all. I'll do it. But then they don't even do it. They get other men to do the killing for them. And they just stand on podium and go forth and kill. No, if you're actually going to do it, at least do it yourself. You know? I have often thought about that. I have often thought about being late night vigilante in hockey mask and hoodoo. Just prowling the streets, waiting for somebody to give me the excuse to justify horrific violence. That child in me that wanted to be a hero. To save the people, you know. To do the thing that other people cannot because they are weak. And, well, I'm not weak. I can do it. I'll do it. But that is also a trick. Or maybe it isn't. I don't know. They say do not become, you know, you be careful being the hero, because if you are the hero wrong enough to see yourself become the villain. All that jazz. But when nobody acts, you're just going to sit there? When you look around and none of the men in your vicinity are doing anything about it, what do? It's very difficult. And I am not the only one. I see many Irishmen these days. Not just Conor McGregor, but there are many Irishmen on YouTube saying the same shit, thinking the same things. The populace, we have no respect for the Garda, and the Garda have no respect for us. The law makers and the enforcers of those laws are corrupt from the ground up. They are now employing the foreigners, because all the Irishmen are leaving. They look at what they're doing and they're like, I cannot do this to my fellow man. I cannot do this. I have to live with these people. I cannot treat people like this. I cannot abide by these laws, by these rules. I'm leaving. So what do? They employ the foreigners. So now we are going to be policed by foreigners. Not good. Not good at all. They are definitely putting the ingredients in the cauldron for civil war. But wouldn't be the first time. Ireland has a wrong history of putting up with a ton of shit and then exploding. Putting up with a ton of shit and then exploding. Putting up with a ton of shit and then exploding. The Romans came here. The British came here. And then there was the Catholics and the Protestants. It's just another fight. It's just another fight. And I'm wondering, Rachel, whether I should take part in it. But, like I said, I don't believe there's a justification for it. I don't believe that violence is necessary. What's necessary is for good men to be in position of power, but how do you get them in that position? Well, politics doesn't work. You know, it's becoming more and more difficult to, you know, on an island like this, like maybe in America is big enough you can, you know, have farm, get off grid, move away. Same with South Africa, you know. Oh no, they're killing all the whites. What do the whites do? Move. Oh, on an island, you can't really move. You know? I mean, you can, but not far. And with what resources? When your own people are just shipping all the resources abroad, and they're constantly bringing foreigners in and using the resources here for the foreigners. It does seem like a hopeless situation, but that's the point, isn't it? Is they want you to think that it's a hopeless situation. I refuse to lose hope. Like I said, my problem is wrath. My problem is anger. You know, my struggle, my sin that I'm struggling with is one of these days I might snap and just go down the road to the fucking vape shop or the fucking barbers and just be like, "You foreigner!" But that would be the wrong thing to do, you know. Poor Muhammad probably is just trying to serve vapes to make a living, but, you know, it's not for me to judge. It is difficult. It is very difficult. One of my texts didn't go through. Put it in Telegram. That's what it's for. If YouTuber doesn't want you to say it, then say it in Telegram. I must say your ability to stay in Japu character speak is quite impressive. I could not go so wrong without stripping up. I have a practice-u. Do something wrong enough and it becomes second nature. Sabaton has a song called 1916, but you can't listen to it with dry eyes. To me, it is a song for those who were deceived into World War I. If you don't have a white feather, you're not a real man. Oh, fuck's sake. It's just like... That is the great sin of the female. If you were a real man, then you would do something horrific. If you were a real man, then you would listen to the demons. If you were a real man... Shut up, bitch. Like... A real man tells his bitch to shut her fucking mouth. Like... Oh, you sent it to me? Ah, yes. Let me see. Your children step on your toes when they are little. They step on your heart when they are older. I would still love to destroy the vessel that is nothing but evil. It's very bad and is hurting four of my family. Ah. It is indeed difficult. It is difficult. I fear your pain, Margio. There is something that Big Beru says that I truly resonate with. Resistance is power. This is very true. The temptation to indulge in wrath is strong, but the power I gain from resisting temptation is much stronger. You must discern for yourself when you are being tempted to be weak. When something is goading you and tempting you into doing something that would be wrong, then resisting the temptation is where the real power is. It's difficult. It's difficult lesson to learn. But you are strong, Margio. I love you, Arix, as if you were one of my own grandchildren. Ah, You honor me, Marjo-sama. I won't lie to you or do you harm. You can talk to me anytime about anything. Ah. You warm my heart, old lady Marjo. You warm my heart. I fear the same, Marjo-sama. I love you like you were my own grandmother. I do fear the love. Indeed, toxic work environment can be a very difficult trial. I am now grateful to have had my job for 25 years now. You see, that is why you are Delta. You know? Wrong time working in same place, typically Delta. I at least have the... I'm still learning to know myself, but even from a young age, I knew that if I stayed too wrong in a place where it was tempting me to indulge in my wrath, then quite often the right thing to do was remove myself from that environment. If you cannot resist the temptation, then remove the temptation. You know? It's like drugs. If you can't have drug in front of you and say no, then make sure drug is not around you. You know? You could argue that is the weaker, easier option, but if you cannot do X and Y is steer in the right direction, then do Y. You know, the lesser of two evils. If you have two paths in front of you, and one of them is definitely going away from good, and the other one is still going away from good, but it's closer towards good than that one, it's like, then go that way. Because somewhere down the line, you will find another path that gets you even closer towards good. But if you would pick the other one, it was like fucking big U-turn. That's why it is a journey. It is a journey where you must constantly, you get to a fork in the road and you are like, okay, do I go left or do I go right? Okay, well, if I go right, I might die. If I go left, I will get the shit kicked out of me, but I'll still be alive. And I can keep going. Do not choose death for no reason. If you have to choose death, it has to be like fucking Jesus reason, you know? It's like, and you have to be really, really, really sure that like, if you're going to sacrifice the life that God gave you for something, if you're going to die on that hill, then it better be the biggest, shiniest, fucking best hair ever. That's why the Jesus story, I like and I don't like, you know? It's like, yes, it's cool. It's like, he died for us. He died for our sins. He was an example of, like, you know, faith in the Lord. But there's something about it that I'm just like, I don't know, that seems like a trick. Where you're just like, you just let your enemy fuck you up and somehow that makes everything better. Oh, but he you know, he came back 3 days later. Yeah, but that is just allegory for the sun. Like, you know, like if you take Jesus' story metaphorically, sure. Love it. I love that as like a metaphorical lesson of like theologically, you know. But the problem is these satanic fucks have made it out like that was actually a real man who did these things. And if you're a real man and you let these evil people beat the fuck out of you, humiliate you, and then crucify you in front of your people, I'm telling you now, your people are just going to want revenge. Like, you know, like yes, there are many lessons in the Bible and many lessons in the life of Jesus that have had a profound effect on many people since that time, but not all of them have been good. How many people have done fucked up, wired shit in the name of Jesus Christ? So, like, as far as allegory, as far as metaphorical, figurative lesson, totally cool. Yes. Faith, strength, resistance, integrity, you know, flipping the table and carrying out the wires, fucking awesome. But allowing these corrupt demons to horrifically destroy you in front of your people and doing nothing, you just let them do it. In real life, that would be incredibly demoralizing and incredibly wrath-inducing to all who witnessed it. Like, think about it for a second. If the Japanite clan was 4 million strong, and I did what Jesus did, half of the Japanite clan would want revenge, and half of the Japanite clan would no longer be Japanites because they would be like, alright, well, fuck this then. Fuck that shit. I don't want to be Japanite anymore if they're going to do that to me. So you either get all the people who are like, okay, fuck being Jewish, fuck this. And then you get all the other people who are like, I want to kill every single fucking Roman I ever lay my eyes upon. Why? Because they did that to my guy. It's incredibly polarizing. If you actually did that, it would be the most. And look at what happened. It happened 2,000 years ago, and people are still bitching about it. It's just like the Holocaust. Oh, 6 million. Oh, they did horrible things. Oh, blah 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 blah. Is the same fucking victim-y bullshit. That's why I fucking can't stand Christians. But anyway, it's my opinion. It's my opinion. I would probably be worse than Omni-Man if given such power. Not Homelander, though. He is a degenerate as well as a blood-rusting control freak. I know, there's something hilarious about Homelander, though. I see Homelander as, like, funny because he is so pathetic. Like, when he was jacking off on building, I was just like, oh my god. I have not seen all of The Boys. Like, after the crazy Nazi bitch came in and her and Homelander started fucking, and I got sick of it. You know, it's just so nihilistic. It's just so, like, over the top, gratuitous fucking bullshit. Like, it's diabolical. After the first 2 seasons, The Boys, I just, whatever. There's no point. There's no point. I'm telling you, you want a really, really, really good show, but it ends too quickly, so it's kind of shit because it just ends. The Colony. Or not The Colony, just Colony. For you English-speaking people, is Colony. The guy who plays the character Sawyer in Lost is father in Colony. Look it up. Great, 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 great show. Can't say enough good shit about it. Really good. Really fucking good. Lots of gravy. Lots of fucking gravy. Indeed, Margio is precious to the Japanite clan. She is glorious. We do not need to put up with you. You are not the kind of person that we need to put up with, Margie. We'll just stop. Margie Osama is not someone who needs to be put up with. No. You want to know, someone who I put up with very temporarily was the Earth. Because I pitied him. I pitied the Earth. So I put up with him. And then I got rid of him. You know? If you have to put up with someone, do it very temporarily. And if they do not change, yeet. I learned that the hard way. I put up with someone in my life for years. More than one. There was a few people in my life that I put up with for years. They were a constant. If their presence and their behavior affects you more negatively than it does positively, then yeet them the fuck out of your life. Get a big fucking catapult, sit them in it, and yank, get them the fuck out of your life. Because there are plenty of people that I have come across that are really fun to be around in small doses. But then you fucking, like, you have them around all the time, every day. And over time, they just parasitically suck the fucking life out of you. It's horrible. It's fucking horrible. Sometimes they can change. Most of the time, no. That is just who they are. They're never gonna change. Or like a person can only change if they want to change. And most people are so arrogant and wrapped up in their own ego that they couldn't conceive of a reason why they would need to change. So they never change. In that sense, becoming suicidal was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because I was like, okay, well, I don't want to die, but I feel like shit. So what do I do? You know? It is a combination of... It is a problem to be... You must use your logic, your reason, and your heart, your fearing, your gut, the trinity that is you, to figure these things out. Most problems, you can't just go, it's this. No. It takes a combination of all factors to be able to go, should I do this? Would I feel like shit if I did this? Okay, where... Should I feel like shit? You know, like, is fearing shit about that decision a bad thing? You know? It's difficult. It's complicated. Life is not complicated. I mean, life is complicated. Apologies. Life is complicated. There's no two ways about it. Literally. It is not white, it is not black. It is somewhere in between. That's why it's called finding balance. Is not left, is not right, is in the middle. Right there. But you can only find the middle by looking left and right. By swimming in the waters of the unknown long enough to find things that bring you to the center. Finding balance in every choice, in every day. Every day is a gift. Use it well. My coffee is cold. Right. Good talku. Let's paintu. Boom. Actually, wait. Phrase of the day. Where is it? Right. Today's phrase of the day. Oh. I send cleansing vibrations through the internet to cleanse your filthy chi, so that it may move freely. Today's phrase of the day. The vertically challenged artilleryman. I did not say this in Japu in my head when you sent it to me, Desmondu, and may I say, the vertically challenged artilleryman. Are you trying to give me tongue tie? Let's try this again. The vertically challenged artilleryman is quick to anger, for he has a short fuse. That is actually quite funny. I like that one. You probably won't understand it unless you know, like, you know, some shit about guns and artillery and military tactics and such, but I like that one. Again, today's phrase of the day. The vertically challenged artilleryman is quick to anger, for he has a short fuse. I like that one. Right, that concludes the phrase of the day. Oh. Okay, now we go. Boom. Right. A number between 0 and 224. Put in the chat. Do it now. Domo Defenderu. It sounded hilarious to hear your pronunciation. I'm sure it did, you fuck. A vertically challenged artillery. Fuck's sake. Oh. I love speaking Japu. Margia-sama straight out the gate, proving that females can be quicker than mares. 71. Finland! Ah, somewhere cold. Excellent. What do they say in Finland? Kirpa! K-Y or P-A with the little dots on it. Kirpa means cock. Excellent. Right, where's Finland? Somewhere up north. Where's 72? Where's 71? The Finnish. Is it? Where's it? Where are you, Finland? Excuse me, Micah. PEINTEINGU! Huh! PEINTEINGU! Ah, 71. PEINTEINGU! PEINTEINGU! It's PEINTEINGU! Right, Kirpa! Fucking. Right. We're off to Finland! Somewhere cold. Right. Time to shuffle the magic hattu. As we know where we're going. But now we need to find out what we're going. What shall we do in Finland? Right. A hat has been shuffled. Okay. Indeed, Margia-sama would appear to have insanely quick fingers. She is putting all of you to shame. Ridiculous. You are being shamed by an old lady from Tennessee. Ridiculous. You are grown-ass bearded men. How dare you? I don't care if one of you is Canadian. This is ridiculous. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Bested repeatedly by old lady. Right. Let's charge my chi. First, Snatchu! Snatch! Oh! Whew! Like Snaker! First thing we are going in Finland. Envelope! Enveloper! Second statue! Snatch! Oh, glorious. Oh, there was some collateral damage with that one. Some collateral damage. Ah! This is kind of fitting. The second thing we are going in Finland. An Ent. Glorious. Friend of Gandalf. Excellent. My beard is itchy. Right. Third and final snatcher. Snatch! Oh, I missed. Okay. I did not charge my chi. That was impulsive. Snatch! Ah, glorious. Some minor collateral damage, but nonetheless glorious. Third and final thing to go in Finland. A juror. What kind of juror? We shall find out. Right. Put you over there. Okay. We shall consult the oracle, Google. Tiny mirror. Show me Finland. I actually typed in Finland instead of Finland. I am literally becoming Japu. Oh wow, that is beautiful. Oh, glorious. Me Reiki this one. We shall use this one. Okay. It's gonna be very dark compared to our usual. Or will I pick a one in daylight? Or will I challenge myself to do a night timer? Fuck it, we do night timer. Paintingu. I don't often do night timer. We shall see. I place my royal rag upon my divine knee in preparation for the goo. Right. Paintingu. If Stabaru-sama is 199 years old, he's looking great. Paintingu. Okay. Right, let's get some goo on the parrot. Go nighttime brew. Go with Prussian brew. It's like Navy. Of course, we are going to need white for the snow. Don't need the brack yet. It can stay over there. Dirty fuck. Paintingu! Paintingu. It's paintingu. Let's fake it goo. Right. We got everything? I think we do. Let's get these bitches wet too. Okay. You get the bitch wet. Beat her. She's now ready for the goo. Don't you squeak at me, Micah. Right. A few squirts from my tiny mister to allow the goo to flow freely. Right, you know what that means? Crap for PEINTEINGU! Crap for PEINTEINGU with all your might! I want to hear you crapping for PEINTEINGU all the way from here! If you're not crapping for PEINTEINGU, you have no honor! Okie dokie. Silence! How dare you try to sell something to my Japanite clan without my permission? PEINTEINGU fingernails is easier than getting oil paint out from undernails. I can imagine. Did you use the right solvents? Quite often you need paint stripper. White spirits. Spirit of whiter. I wonder. Paint, paint! Paint, paint! Paint, paint! Paint, paint! Paint, paint! Paint, paint! Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Paint, paint! Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Finrad! Painting goo 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 goo. 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 Painting goo. Ah! It appears Big Baru is going to unleash his wrath, comedic wrath, upon Mark Normandu. Let me see. What is this? Oh, Big Baru. Mark Norman posted Twitter on that fucking birdie Twittersville. If tea and lemonade is an Arnold Palmer, then hot chocolate in my coffee is a Tiger Woods. And Big Baru reprised, "Yikes! Better figure that one out on stage and show us the process on how it turned from pure garbage to humor. Can't wait!" Paint, paint! He's oh. Paint. What a fag. If tea and lemonade is an Arnold Palmer, then hot chocolate in my coffee is hot chocolate in your coffee sounds like a euphemism for being a fag. Sounds like Mark Normandeau is fucking gayu. Oh, Margie-sama does not know what Entu is. Have you not seen Lord of the Rings, Margie-sama? Blasphemy. An Ent is a riving tree. A riving tree is what Entu is. If you have not seen Lord of the Rings, you must watch it, Margie-sama. Lord of the Rings is a glorious... Painting. Goo goo. I return from Phonokar. Where do we go? Finland! We're off to Finland! Painting. Goo goo. Goo goo. I'm going to make that a little bit paler. Stand out as much as I wanted to. There we go. Yes, better. Much better. We are off to Finland in the night timer. If I can pull it off. Okay. From here to here. like emerald green. Paint, paint! Paint, paint! Paint, paint! Paint, paint! Paint, paint! Better. Painting, goo, 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 goo. Painting. Goo goo. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Painting. Goo goo. Paint, paint. 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 Painting goo, goo goo. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. You must forgive me if I give you snow blindness. The Vikings used to call the Finns witchfolk for their ambush tactics in the swampus. But look at them now, shiny, blonde, fagarinos. Indeed, how things change. Ah yes, I am mostly Nordic, as my namesake is a Swedishu. And in Nordic country is most welcome changer from Africa. Indeed, we go from hot to cold. Make us strong. Hey, Hey, goo 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 goo. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, goo 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 goo. Paint, 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 goo 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 goo. Paint, paint. Painting. Goo goo. Painting. Goo goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Nakesa, a very hinger dinger dunger. Sabrusam. A language of the Vikings. The Snow Peeper. The Bearded Snowman. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting. Goo goo. Goo goo. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Hello. Paint, paint. Swedish chef is national treasure. Oogie boogie. I fucking love that character. I put my pie on Regents. Ooh. Oh, Oreo pie. Delicious. I love the way there is white Oreo surrounded by black Oreo. Hilarious. Yeah, black Oreos ganging up on the white one. Oh, that's hilarious. Very funny, Omarjo-sama. And looks delicious. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Paint, paint! Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Me hungry now as well. You haven't made one in about 50 years. Good God. I like rhubarb, but I love strawberry. Paint, paint! Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. cozy little cottage in the snow. What else will we be doing? An envelope, an ent, and some jewels. The rocks, not the tiny men in small hats with big noses. Jewels. Right, shiny rocks. It's very Christmassy. And it's spring. Paint. I will not be present too for the rest of the week's goo, unfortunately, as I am off on holiday to US of A. Have a great rest of your week. Ah, glorious! Glorious! Stabro-sama, may you enjoy your holiday, and may you bring back many stories of your adventures. I love eating yarrow snow, but my daddy said never eat yarrow snow. Why? Because it's probably got piss in it, Margio-sama. More than likely piss. Indeed, it would appear Saburo-sama is going over to your side of the realm. Yes, Mardio-sama's father was a wise man indeed. Paint! Better. Right, my beloved Japonator. I'm going to leave it there. Nearly at the 3-hour mark. I was not planning on doing a wrong go today, but there you go. A wrong go. We have arrived in Finland, and tomorrow I shall return to do an envelope, an ent, and a jure. I know not what yet we shall exactly construct. Oh, glorious. Sumimasen. Still tastes like tuna. Oh, glorious. Perhaps an ent delivering a giant envelope, dragging a bejeweled crab or some shit. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. Right, you know the drill. If you have any honor, pay for PEINTEINGU. There are many links in the description. Smash that like button like it has insulted your ancestors, or I will fling my giant tiger at you. What else? Nope, I think that's it. Pay for PEINTEINGU or you have no honor, so on and so forth. And I shall return tomorrow. In the meantime, be good, be true, and be beautiful. And I shall see you soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you don't, I'll fling my giant tiger at you. I'll find you, and I'll fling him at you. Eh? Every day is a gift. Enjoy it, even when it sucks. Eh? Make you strong. Right. You filthy mortals. Sayonara.